Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, where we take a look at some of the awesome news and reveals of this week. First up on the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, we're going to be talking about events happening this week. First up, the New York Comic Con is happening this weekend, and Hasbro has announced that they will be selling their exclusives on Hasbro Pulse on Thursday, tomorrow, on the 9th. They did not tell us a time or the items, but based on what I've gathered throughout the months when it comes to the items that were announced, and just from experience with Hasbro, I'm assuming this will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, because earlier in the morning they're going to be doing the Walmart Con, which we're going to talk about different items throughout this Wednesday Warrior that are part of that, but I have them all in their separate little, fandoms and stuff like that, just to kind of cover everything. So I can't imagine they'll be doing it any earlier than 10/1, because Walmart Con happens, I think, at 7 Eastern or Pacific, so it's earlier in the day. But we know that they'll be going for pre-order. There'll be an hour window for premium members, and then general market afterwards, being anyone who doesn't have premium. A limit of 2 per item, and based on what I know from Comic-Con and the different brands, it sounds like Hasbro's Transformers team will be having the Nemesis Prime with the air defense mini cons that make Star Saber, so that will be going live. Marvel will be having the Super Scroll as their exclusive, which has the card art as the box. Star Wars will have 2. It will be the Vintage Collection Spirit Force Ghost 3-pack and the Star Wars The Black Series Chancellor Palpatine and Mace Windu Battle 2-pack. And then Ghostbusters will have the Kenner versions of the glow-in-the-dark State Puff, I believe, or Slimer, or both. And then what else? G.I. Joe will have, I think it's Classified Series Cobra Lee Pythona. And then what else am I got? That's Marvel, Star Wars, Transformers, Ghostbusters. I think that's everything, right? Star Wars, Marvel, Transformers, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe. Yeah, so those will be all the exclusives that we know of right now that were shown off at Comic-Con. A couple of them were, actually I think all but the Super Scroll. I thought the Doctor Strange was going to be it, but yeah, so that's going to be all the exclusives. There'll be a limit of 2 on each. I think the only one that kind of hurts from that is the Super Scroll, because I know some people might want a troop build with it, but the rest are pretty much one-off characters that you can buy. And then this week till the 10th, apparently Hasbro is having a flash sale on about 50 items right now, anywhere between 10 to 43% off, stuff like that. Nothing too big, but kind of matching up with the Prime deals and the Target deals and the Walmart deals that are happening this week, which, by the way, if you didn't know about that, Target is running their promotion where it's 10 off of 40, 20 off of 75. Walmart's doing a bunch of deals where a lot of figures that were 25 are now like 15 and 10, so definitely check out those websites. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about Walmart Con throughout this video, because everyone is having exclusives there, so it's going to be really fun to talk about. In Transformers news, we have 2 things to talk about for Walmart Con. First up, we're going to talk about an item that went live today. It is that of the Transformers MPG Soundwave animation accurate colors with Spy Condor or Laserbeak. And this is a really awesome set. It's going for being a masterpiece, $175, so it's a bit pricey, but it is the original MP that was in the more toy accurate colors, now in the cartoon accurate colors with some extra accessories, or kind of accessories that are swapped around. We talked about it a little bit last week, but now it is available for pre-order if you want to pick it up. And then the 2 Walmart Con exclusives are continuations of the retro collection. These are the next 2. So now we've gotten 6 so far. We got Bumblebee and Gears, then we got Sea Spry and Brawn. Now we're getting Outback and Wheelie. Now these are toy inspired Wheelie, and technically animation accurate Outback, not very toy accurate, more animation accurate, in my opinion. I mean, with the blue eyes and the coloring where it is. So if you want Outback, this is the time to get it. I don't think there'll be a mainline version later down the line, but when it comes to Wheelie, this is very toy accurate, so we're probably going to get an 86 version of this down the road. I still personally really like the core class one that came out a while ago, but I'm very curious to get him in the deluxe version later on. I can't imagine they won't do a Studio Series 86 mold out of this. Plus, there's a lot of people that are already digibashing this into other things that they could use it for, so we might see this mold quite a bit. But both of these will be available at Walmart Con. I can't remember if it's on the 9th or the 10th. Some of the stuff that we'll be talking about is on the 9th. Some of the stuff will be on the 10th because it's a 2-day event. And yes, you will have to juggle with New York Comic Con releases, but because all this stuff is early in the day, just like during Comic Con when they do these convention collector things with Target and Walmart, they usually do them earlier in the day so that you can do your standard pre-orders in like the 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, depending on where you are. But yeah, just really cool Transformers. And in G.I. Joe toy news, we got some more digital render reveals and some other cool items here and there and stuff like that that went up for pre-order. First up, we have the render reveals of characters we already knew were coming through other stuff, but it's that of, I think it's Big Lob, or Big Lob, I can't remember the name of the character, I feel bad, but they're the basketball looking G.I. Joe character. We got the Night Viper, which looks really cool. And then finally we have Lifeline, so I'm very excited to get another medical character on the team. And then when it comes to pre-orders, first up, the Police Officer 60th Anniversary figure has gone up on Hasbro Pulse. It also went up on Amazon, BBTS, Entertainment Earth, I think even like, GameStop might have had it, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's finally up on Hasbro Pulse. It is still in stock if you want to pick it up. These, like I've said before in previous Wednesday Warrior wraps when we talked about it, this is definitely a figure I can see being used in a lot of different collections. You could have it in your Marvel collection, your G.I. Joe collection. It'll work out perfectly as a background character for anything that you have. And then finally, the Walmart Collector Con item, which I'm most excited about when it comes to all the G.I. Joe news, because it kind of fits in with Crystal Ball, which is so far my favorite G.I. Joe toy this year. I don't think Retro Beachhead came out this year, but if it did, he's definitely in my, top 2 with Crystal Ball. But it is that of the Ghost Viper with the Dire Wolf and Snake Cobra that are like glowing green. This is definitely one I'd like to get a couple of because I just think it'd be cool to have a bunch of spectral ghost looking, wolves and snakes. Plus you could use them with your Green Lantern figures if you want to, or any of your fantasy figures if you want to have like a druid character with your Mythic Legions or your D&D figures. You could have this be a pet they have. It's really awesome looking, and I have a feeling that this is going to be a very, popular figure this year when it comes to being able to use with other things and stuff like that. It will be available, I believe, during the Walmart Collector Con on the 9th. I think the 9th is when most of the Hasbro stuff is going live, but I could be wrong. And then it's actually going to ship out on October 24th, so it will be coming in pretty fast. They're pretty much already ready to ship out. They're just waiting until after the Walmart Con to get everyone's orders sorted. And there is a bit of a, way to get them already. Apparently people are putting them in their lists and then ordering them through the list, and it will let you order them. I've attempted it. It worked. I was able to get some, but there's always a chance that Walmart might cancel those orders. So I would definitely suggest if you've done that, or if you do try to attempt that, you still try to get it on the day of, and just kind of have your fingers crossed if, maybe it will work out, but I just wanted to cover that real fast here. But yeah, lots of awesome G.I. Joe stuff. The digital renders that we talked about, I believe, are actually products that will be going up sometime this week after they reveal them at the convention, along with some other stuff. So keep your eyes open for New York Comic Con. And in Marvel toy news, yes, there's a lot of Hasbro to cover. We have a look at some items, 2 that went up for pre-order, that of the Iceman from Secret Wars. So if you wanted to get that, it went up on Hasbro, Amazon, BBTS, Entertainment Earth. It is the new price point of $27.99. So it is, a little bit pricier than the original Icemans we've bought in through 3-packs and single packs on other carded stuff, but it does come with a little bit extra, so it's nice to see that kind of there. Then we also got the Champion and Starfox, I think it is, 2-pack. So if you're a Cosmic fan, you want to have these characters in your Cosmic collection of Marvel Legends, they are available for pre-order. And just to point out, anything that is available right now or going to be available during Walmart Con, the links will be in the description down below, so you can click on it. I also have just the Walmart Con link, so you can go through all the other items, anything we didn't talk about here. And then finally, when it comes to Walmart Collector Con, their item they're getting from Marvel is the animated series Mysterio. And I believe this is like our 3rd or 4th Mysterio, but it's a really cool version. Honestly, this one will probably be one that I pick up and decide if I want to get rid of the other ones and keep this one. because it's just really awesome looking, and it's got extra heads, including one that makes it look like it's got like tentacles on a skull or something like that. It's really awesome looking. So as a fan of Crystal Ball, this is definitely another one of those kind of characters that falls in that same kind of feel of things. But yeah, that's our Marvel stuff this week. Just to recap, when it comes to the exclusive at New York Comic Con, that will be the Super Scroll, and we will probably see a lot of other new things revealed, including another wave of figures, might be even a Build-A-Figure wave, which will be very exciting. Now we get into McFarlane, but starting up, we're going to do the Mortal Kombat, where we're going to get a Scorpion and Raiden 2-pack, and a Liu Kang, I think it is, and Reptile 2-pack. But then we're also going to get a Raiden and a Reptile single packs. All these will be available this week. Some of them are Walmart Con, some of them are Walmart Con and GameStop, some of them are General Market. There's just a lot. And when we get to the next slide, we have a lot to talk about. That is a lot of Walmart Con stuff from McFarlane. But I wanted to cover the Mortal Kombat separately so that we can kind of showcase it, because I've gotten my hands on Sub-Zero already, and it is an amazing figure. I like it a lot. Is it worth $30? I think, compared to other figures that have cost more in the past when it comes to like Storm collectibles and other things, it's not bad for $30 what you're getting. I just wish it had more Frozen accessories and accessories in general. But as you can see, these 2-packs are kind of where that's at. As you can see, the Reptile 2-pack comes with all those extra Reptile pieces. Same with the Raiden and Scorpion 2-pack. Scorpion comes with this skull head, which he doesn't come with in the basic version. So it's kind of, in a way, if you're okay with, alternate versions, the 2-packs are a better deal in my opinion, but they are a bit pricey too. I think you even have to pay for those accessories. It's not like it's a better deal. I think instead of 30 and 30, it's like, I want to say 80 for the 2-packs. There's a image here that shows the actual price. I could be going over it. It might be only 60. But yeah, just some really awesome Mortal Kombat toys, and I'm very excited to see that even with DC leaving, we're having other cool things come in that McFarlane will be working. Here we go. This is where it gets crazy when it comes to McFarlane. There is a lot of DC McFarlane coming out, and a lot of this is going to be at the Walmart Con. The Flash, I call it Zombie Flash, I think it's the Speed Force Flash, is going to be a Walmart Con exclusive. I think it's also going to be at GameStop. The Batgirl, the Red Tornado from the digital collections are going to be a Walmart Con exclusive. A lot of these are Walmart Con exclusives to start with, and then I think they'll go to other stores. Like the Man-Bat, I can assume that they might send that over to Target at some point, since they have a lot of the animated series stuff there. But there's just so much to cover over here. Some of it we've already talked about. Now we know that the official release dates are this week, so a lot of it will be going live on October 10th. So if you're a McFarlane fan and a Hasbro fan, you're going to have a lot of work this week. A lot of it will be pre-orders, but some of it will be in stock, so those charges will go through like that, so just be prepared. But yeah, just as you can see here, there's something for everyone. There's even a Jokerized figure, which we know there are fans of that who collect that line, even though a lot of people like to bag on it. I think the thing that I'm most excited about, and we've talked about this, is the Red Tornado. I kind of liked the Green Lantern that's based on the comic cover, but I don't really have it, beside it just looking nice, I don't really have an attachment to that comic or that figure. So it's definitely something that is cool, but I'll probably pass on. And mostly it's just, there's so many versions of different characters that you get. Like there's this Bat Cycle with Batman from the Flash movie where he's got the blue and gray suit. I'm pretty sure that is, new, but it could be a variant for all I know. But yeah, lots of cool McFarlane stuff. If you're a McFarlane fan, you have a lot to look forward to this week. In Masters of the Universe news, first up we have a announcement that the Mattel Creations Scorpion Horde guy, I don't know what his real name is, could be Scorpion Man, I'm not familiar with them, but they will be going live on October 21st on Mattel Creation. Most likely a Club Grayskull to begin with, and the next day it will be general market for whatever's left. We also got to look at the Walmart Con stuff. We got our first 2000X pre-order, I'm pretty sure, with the Samurai He-Man. We have 2 vintage collection figures in the Masterverse line, that of Merman and Teela, and the Teela looks incredible, but I have to be good. I can't go into Masters of the Universe. It's amazing. The story's fun, but I've got so many things on my plate. But these are really cool figures. If you're a Motu fan, you've got something to look forward to this week, which is really awesome. So yeah, 3 of these are Walmart Con. 1 of this is Mattel Creations. 3 are available this week. 1 will be later this month. So you're going to have a wonderful time this month. It was the final week of Target Geek Out, and we have a look at the final offering, and it was that of Funko Pops, mostly Star Wars. I wanted to cover it here because I covered most of the geek outs, even things that I didn't really care too much about, because it is fun to keep tabs on what they do. So in the future, we can see if the weeks line up, like, oh, okay, final week is always Funko Pop. Now you know. So I wanted to cover it here real fast because I think this is our third or fourth geek out that we've covered here on the channel week by week. But yeah, there's some really interesting ones. The one that really got me was Yaddle, I think is what the name is, of the female Yoda character from the Phantom Menace that then, you know, didn't show up afterwards. Maybe in Attack of the Clones? I don't remember. But there's two different stories. One story is, you know, if you know the character, they got taken out in the Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Sith. And then there's also the narrative book version from the Legends, which is that she sacrificed herself to save the whole planet. And I like that version a lot more. But I thought that was a really cool looking pop figure, because that is a unique character that doesn't get too much merchandise anymore. But yeah, that was the final week of Target Geek Out. Now we're looking forward to Walmart Collector Con. And in Big Bad Workshop, aka Big Bad Toys store news, Fresh Monkey Fiction, stuff like that, the Operation Monster Force stuff is available now. A lot of it's in stock. I'm pretty sure 90% of what they have is in stock, with only a couple of pre-orders from the newer things. So if you have been waiting to get these like me, they are available. I personally haven't bought anything from it yet, but it's really not that bad of a price. I think it's anywhere between 30 and 50, and with what we're getting recently, like I said about the Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero being 30, it's not that bad. And as a fan of monsters and cryptids and aliens and robots, this is definitely in my wheelhouse. So at some point I'd like to get at least one or two figures from, especially that Bigfoot, to see what it's like, because I've seen other people, you know, have it at events and things like that, and gotten to like look at them and be like, those are really good looking figures. The best part is they scale well with 6-inch figures like the Black Series, or specifically G.I. Joe Classified Series or Marvel Legends. So if you want to put them in there, you can, and they work really well, but they're also really good next to each other. So yeah, if you want to pick these up, the link is in the description down below for BBTS for the whole assortment and all the waves that are available. And something I'm very excited to cover this week, Boss Fight Studios had a little teaser last week, I think it was, or earlier this week, with a helmet that looked like Conan, and it said something big is coming. And it was that of Boss Fight Studios' 1/12 scale, epic hacks scale, pretty much, Conan the Barbarian and the Pirate Princess or Pirate Queen. This is from apparently a storyline where Conan goes to the coast of, you know, and has an adventure with a pirate queen. I don't know everything about it, but this is just exciting to get another Conan figure. I think we've covered 2 or 3 Conan figures now, or, you know, Conan themed characters on this channel this year alone. There's a lot of love for Conan the Barbarian, and this one is by far my most excited looking one. It's got all kinds of articulation from the looks of it, double jointed knees and elbows that are pinless, butterfly joints. This could be my Savage Avengers Conan. It is, I think, about $65, but that is a little bit more affordable compared to some of the other Conans that came out. I think they've ranged from anywhere between $80 and $90. So this one is definitely more budget friendly for someone who's, you know, maybe a Marvel Legends fan who wants to have a Savage Conan. It kind of makes me wonder if we might see a Conan Marvel Legends figure sometime this year or next year. And so all these companies are trying to get it kind of out there before that one comes out. But yeah, no, it is really cool looking. All the accessories, there's 2 different sets of outfits for the characters, all kinds of awesome weapons, accessories. There's even a chest for treasure, so you have something for the characters to go after. It is just really awesome. Boss Fight Studios is just knocking it out of the park with everything they've been doing with their licenses that they've been getting, from Hellboy to Conan to Red Sonja to all the different ones they've been doing. Even the Garfield stuff and the Popeye stuff I've really enjoyed. So this is a really awesome offering that is available for pre-order right now, I believe, on BBTS, if you want to pick them up. And I just think they're really awesome. In Mondo toy news, specifically the animated series Spider-Man, which always makes me kind of tempted to buy these, but then I'm able to hold myself back. But this one is really awesome. It is that of the New York Comic Con exclusive Daredevil. So this one is definitely the coolest one in my opinion, when it comes to, you know, not Spider-Man and Venom. I could see this one being something that I would actually kind of be tempted to buy, but luckily it's behind a convention wall that I will not be going to, unfortunately. But I'm excited to hear about all the things coming out of it. This might end up online. If you want to pick it up, I'll try to find the link when the time comes and share it to my Instagram like I do with most links for items. But it's just really awesome looking. It's got that cell shaded, like the blacks and reds and stuff like that just look really nice. But this is, of course, these 12-inch scale figures, so I'm trying to, you know, make room when it comes to my collection, and this definitely would take up way too much room if I started collecting 12-inch characters, so I just wanted to cover it here because it looked really awesome. And in comics this week we think look incredible. First up, we have the much anticipated Transformers number 25, which kicks off the new part of the story. I'm very excited about this, from Skybound and Image Comics. Also, next up, we have a look at something I didn't know about until now. Astrobots, which is a toy company and toy line, has a comic series, and this is Volume 2, Number 1. And apparently it is made with Simon Furman, the creator of the Transformers comics. He helped with them and stuff like that, and several other, you know, cool comics from our past. So I'm very excited for this one. Then we have the Amazing Spider-Man Torn, number 1, which takes us back to the college days of Spider-Man, where we'll get to see Harry Osborn and MJ and Gwen Stacy and Flash Thompson, and just Spider-Man's days at the college in Empire State. And then lastly, we have a look at G.I. Joe 321, which is the continuation of the Real American Hero story that Larry Hama worked on. And this one is apparently a silent issue, kind of like the original Snake Eyes silent issue. So this will be a really fun comic. You can see on it, it says comic at 300 issues in the making. So that's very exciting. So those are the 4 comics this week that we thought looked really cool. Like always, go to your local comic shop, see what they have, see if there's anything new this week you want to pick up, and just pick up what's in your saver and have a wonderful week. And in our creative corner this week, we have a look at a very talented 3D artist, designer, toy maker, with that of at Nova Labs 3D on Instagram, and they have some amazing work here. First up, I have to point out these 2 Space Marine themed Megatron with all the awesome accessories, and Optimus Prime, which looks incredible. And then we also have a look at a Iron Man holding what looks like an infinity shield, which is just really awesome looking. And then lastly, a creation of their own, it looks like, with this cool, like, clear, bubbly stuff that looks like shielding, and then a really awesome sword. There's a lot of amazing work on their website, a lot of 3D printed stuff, helmets for, like, actual people to wear, 3D printed pieces, glow-in-the-dark pieces. That's up my alley. As you know, I love glow-in-the-dark. But yeah, just a lot of amazing work. So definitely, like always, please go give them a look, see what they've got, give them the support, follow them if you like what they got, share it with friends who might enjoy it, hit those likes and all that fun stuff, comment on what you think is cool on their page, and just support a really amazing creative person who's doing some awesome stuff. I really love the Megatron Space Marine. It's just really awesome looking. But yeah, just some really incredible work. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. If you're feeling generous, share it. And thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye.